Stop scrolling for a moment, my child, because this message is not here by accident. You were meant to hear this now, before the noise of the world pulls your heart away again. I know how tired you have become from carrying pressure, fear, disappointment, and silent battles that nobody else fully sees. But listen carefully to me today, because something inside you is standing at a breaking point, and if you ignore this moment, you may continue walking deeper into exhaustion without realizing how desperately your soul has been crying out for peace. Stay with me until the end of this message. Do not rush away. Do not treat these words like background noise. What you are about to hear may uncover truths your heart has been avoiding for far too long, and the decision you make after this moment could change the direction of your entire life. My child, I know how quickly you move through your days, trying to keep up with responsibilities, expectations, and thoughts that never seem to slow down. Most people will pass by this moment without recognizing what they are missing. They will distract themselves again and continue carrying burdens they were never meant to carry alone. But you paused, and there is a reason for that. I brought you here because your heart has been overwhelmed for longer than you admit to anyone around you. You have been trying so hard to appear strong. Even when you feel emotionally drained, you still show up for other people. You continue conversations while your mind feels exhausted. You smile when your heart feels distant from peace. There are nights when your body is tired, but your thoughts refuse to rest. You replay situations in your mind, wondering if you said the wrong thing, chose the wrong path, or somehow ruined opportunities that mattered deeply to you. I have watched you carry all of this quietly, and I need you to know that you were never invisible to me. Some of the disappointment you experienced made you question whether I was still listening. Certain prayers remained unanswered longer than you expected, and some doors closed right when you believed they would finally open. You thought those moments meant I was silent or distant. But what you could not see was how much protection was hidden inside those closed doors. There were situations that would have wounded your spirit far more deeply than you realize now. I was guarding parts of your future that you cannot fully understand yet. I also know how lonely this season has felt for you. There are things you carry inside that you struggle to explain to other people. Sometimes you fear being misunderstood, so you keep your deeper emotions hidden. You learned how to survive quietly instead of asking for comfort honestly. But I never wanted you to live weighed down by constant emotional pressure. I never asked you to hold your entire world together by yourself. Right now, I am asking you to stop believing that your life is beyond healing. You are not too far gone. You are not forgotten. The exhaustion you feel is not the end of your story. I am still close to you even in moments when you struggle to feel my presence clearly. While you have been worrying about everything falling apart, I have been slowly preparing restoration in areas you thought would never recover again. And even now, as you sit with these words, I am trying to bring peace back into places inside you that have felt restless for far too long. My child, I need you to be honest with yourself for a moment. You have been carrying weight that was slowly exhausting your spirit, and you kept telling yourself that you could manage it alone. You pushed through days when your mind felt crowded and your heart felt worn down. You kept showing up for people even while something inside you was quietly asking for rest. I saw every moment you forced yourself to keep going because you believed stopping would make everything collapse around you. But listen to me carefully now. You were never meant to survive only through pressure and survival instincts. I did not create you to live constantly bracing for the next disappointment. You became so used to handling everything internally that you stopped reaching for comfort. Instead of opening your heart, you learned how to hide your struggles behind normal conversations and routine smiles. There are people around you who have no idea how emotionally tired you really are. You answer questions with "I'm fine" because explaining the truth feels too complicated. Sometimes you do not even know how to explain it yourself. You just know that your thoughts feel heavy and your peace disappears too quickly. Come closer to me now and stop pretending that you are unbreakable. Put down the pressure you keep carrying every waking hour. Release the fear that tells you everything depends entirely on you. I know you worry about your future. I know you think about finances, relationships, missed opportunities, and the possibility of more disappointment waiting ahead. But staying trapped in fear will never protect your heart from pain. It will only drain the strength you still have left. You have also been punishing yourself for things I've already wanted to heal. Some mistakes from your past still follow you into quiet moments. You replay them while wondering whether they permanently changed your life. Yet I need you to hear me clearly. Your failures did not cancel your worth. Your worst moments are not the full story of who you are. Stop measuring your future by your lowest seasons. Stop speaking to yourself with more cruelty than you would ever speak to someone you love. Right now, I am inviting you to breathe again without carrying every burden alone. Let me walk with you honestly instead of keeping your fears hidden behind closed thoughts. Speak to me openly. Sit with me quietly. Trust me enough to stop controlling every outcome that frightens you. There are things unfolding in your life that you cannot fully see yet. Even this season that feels frustrating and uncertain is shaping parts of your heart that still need healing. Stay near me now. Do not run back into endless noise and distraction the moment this peace begins touching your spirit. Let yourself rest here with me for a while longer. My child, I know there are still moments when you look back at certain losses and wonder why they happened. You remember opportunities that disappeared, relationships that slowly unraveled, and plans that seemed so promising before everything changed unexpectedly. Some of those endings hurt you deeply because you believed they were connected to the future you hoped for. You prayed over them. You invested your emotions into them. You imagined your life moving in a completely different direction. Then suddenly things shifted, and you were left carrying confusion that nobody around you fully understood. What you could not see during those painful moments was how much I was protecting you behind the scenes. You saw rejection, but I saw damage waiting further ahead. You saw delay, but I saw timing that would have crushed you if events unfolded too soon. There were people you trusted whose presence would have slowly drained the peace out of your life. There were situations that looked exciting on the surface while hiding pressure, heartbreak, and exhaustion underneath. I closed certain doors because I love you too much to let temporary desires destroy your deeper future. I know it did not feel loving at the time. Some endings left you questioning your worth. You wondered whether you were not talented enough, attractive enough, important enough, or spiritually strong enough. Quietly, disappointment began shaping how you saw yourself. You became cautious with hope because you were afraid of feeling that pain again. But listen carefully to me now. Those losses were never proof that you were forgotten. They were moments where my protection interrupted paths that would not have healed your spirit. Stop reopening doors in your mind that I already closed for your safety. Stop standing in old memories asking yourself what you could have done differently. You are exhausting your heart trying to rewrite seasons that already passed. Come out of that place now. Release the need to fully understand every disappointment before moving forward. Trust me enough to believe that I can see beyond what your emotions understand today. I also need you to stop assuming that delay means denial. Some of the things you are still praying for require a stronger version of you first. I care about your future too deeply to rush you into places that your wounded heart is not ready to carry yet. Healing takes time. Wisdom takes time. Emotional restoration takes time. But none of that means I abandon your future. Walk forward now without constantly looking behind you. Open your hands instead of clinging tightly to what already slipped away. There is still goodness ahead of you, even if your heart became tired of expecting it. Stay close to me through this season because I am leading you somewhere far better than the places you keep grieving. My child, I know there are struggles inside you that almost nobody around you fully understands. People see your routine. They hear your ordinary conversations. They watch you continue moving through life, and because of that, they assume you are doing better than you truly are. What they cannot see are the quiet battles that begin the moment you are alone with your thoughts again. They do not hear the questions that circle through your mind late at night. They do not feel the emotional exhaustion that settles into your chest after carrying worry for so long. You became skilled at hiding your pain because you did not want to burden anyone. Somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that your struggles should stay private. You kept telling yourself to be stronger, calmer, more patient, more resilient. Yet the pressure kept building quietly inside you. There were days when your heart felt heavy before the morning even began. There were moments when simple decisions felt overwhelming because your mind had been running without rest for far too long. Come sit with me honestly now. Stop pretending that your soul is not tired. Stop pushing your emotions into dark corners where they continue growing heavier in silence. I already know what you are carrying, so do not be afraid to let me into those hidden places. Bring me the fear you keep disguising as control. Bring me the sadness you keep covering with distractions. Bring me the frustration you keep swallowing because you think expressing it would make you weak. You also need to stop believing that surviving pain quietly is the same thing as healing from it. Those are not the same. You learned how to function while hurting, but functioning is not freedom. I want peace for you that reaches deeper than temporary distractions. I want your mind to breathe again without constantly preparing for the next disappointment. I want your heart to feel safe enough to rest instead of staying trapped in survival mode every day. Listen closely now. The fact that you still care deeply after everything you experienced is not weakness. The softness inside you survived betrayal, disappointment, rejection, and emotional fatigue. That matters more than you realize. Many people allow pain to harden them completely, but your heart still searches for meaning, love, and hope even after difficult seasons tried to convince you otherwise. So stop running from your own emotions. Sit with me here instead. Speak openly with me. Let your walls come down little by little. You do not have to solve every fear tonight. You do not have to carry tomorrow before it arrives. Release that pressure now. Breathe slowly and allow yourself to believe that healing is still possible for you. I have not abandoned you inside this battle, my child. I have been standing beside you through every silent storm, waiting for you to finally stop carrying it alone. My child, there are still countless wounded hearts hiding silent battles just like the ones you have been carrying, and I am calling this message to reach them before despair convinces them to give up completely. What I have comforted inside you is not meant to stay hidden. It is oil for other lamps that are close to burning out. I told you in my word, freely you have received, freely give, and today I am speaking those words directly into your spirit again. When you sow into this mission through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link placed in the video description, you are helping my voice enter dark rooms where lonely souls have been crying out for hope. Every seed released in obedience becomes part of a greater harvest you cannot fully see yet. I will breathe favor over those who choose generosity in secret, and I will multiply peace, provision, and protection over the hands that refuse to let this light stop spreading. Do not ignore this moment as coincidence, my child. Act now. Support this mission boldly and help carry my healing presence to the hearts still fighting silent storms alone. My child, There are moments when you look at your past and feel a deep ache of regret that still has not fully left your heart. You remember choices you wish you handled differently. You replay conversations that ended badly. You think about opportunities you missed and seasons where you struggled emotionally, spiritually, or mentally. Sometimes those memories appear without warning and pull you backward into guilt all over again. I see how often you revisit old wounds as if punishing yourself will somehow rewrite what already happened. But listen to me carefully now. You are carrying shame that I never asked you to keep carrying. You keep reopening chapters that I already wanted to heal. Some of your deepest exhaustion is coming from the constant battle happening inside your own thoughts. You speak to yourself with a harshness that slowly drains your peace. Even when life begins moving forward again, part of you stays emotionally trapped in old mistakes because you are afraid of becoming that version of yourself again. Come closer and release that fear. Stop measuring your worth by moments when you were hurting, confused, lost, or emotionally overwhelmed. Pain influenced choices you made. Loneliness influenced some of your decisions. Fear influenced others. That does not excuse every mistake, but it explains why your heart needed healing instead of endless self-condemnation. I never looked at you with the cruelty you direct toward yourself sometimes. You also need to stop believing that guilt makes you spiritually safe. Carrying shame does not protect your future. It only keeps your heart chained to old pain. You have apologized. You have cried. You have spent nights replaying memories until your mind felt exhausted. Enough now. Let those moments go. Stop standing in front of closed doors begging for another chance to change the past. You cannot heal while constantly staring backward. I know you worry that certain failures permanently damage your future. You fear that you disappointed me beyond repair during your weakest seasons. But if you could see your life through my eyes, you would understand something important. I never stopped loving you in those moments. I stayed close to you while you struggled. I stayed near while you doubted yourself. Even when you withdrew emotionally, I did not walk away from you. Now I am asking you to do something difficult but necessary. Forgive yourself honestly. Stop holding yourself hostage inside memories I already chose not to define you by. Walk away from that inner courtroom where you keep placing yourself on trial over and over again. Your story is still unfolding. Your future still contains purpose, peace, and restoration. Let your heart breathe again without constantly dragging old guilt behind you. Stay close to me now and allow grace to reach places inside you that shame has controlled for far too long. My child, I need you to slow your thoughts down for a moment and notice how much pressure you have been placing on yourself lately. You keep trying to predict every outcome before it happens. You replay conversations searching for hidden meanings. You prepare yourself emotionally for worst-case scenarios because part of you believes staying anxious will somehow protect you from pain. But look at what this constant pressure has done to your spirit. Your mind rarely feels quiet anymore. Even during moments that should feel peaceful, something inside you stays tense, waiting for the next problem to appear. You were never meant to carry life this way. I did not create you to live trapped inside endless worry. Yet somewhere along your journey, fear slowly convinced you that control was the only thing keeping your world together. You started gripping tightly to plans, people, expectations, and timelines because uncertainty frightened you. When things moved differently than you hoped, your heart immediately blamed itself. You wondered what you missed, what you should have fixed earlier, what you could still do to prevent more disappointment from coming. Come closer now and release that exhausting responsibility from your shoulders. Stop trying to manage every future outcome before it arrives. Stop carrying tomorrow's fears while still emotionally drained from yesterday's pain. You cannot heal while your spirit stays locked in constant survival mode. Sit with me honestly and admit how tired you truly are. You have spent so much energy trying to appear stable that you forgot how deeply your own heart needed comfort too. I know you fear losing things that matter to you. I know you fear more heartbreak, more delays, more uncertainty. But controlling everything has not brought you peace, has it? It only made your thoughts louder. It only filled your chest with tension that follows you into quiet moments. There are nights when your body feels exhausted, but your mind refuses to stop racing. You carry invisible pressure into every room because you believe resting means falling behind somehow. Listen carefully now. You do not have to hold your entire future together with fear. I am already standing in places ahead of you that you cannot see yet. While you panic over details, I am still guiding your life with care, even during seasons that feel confusing to you. So breathe slowly and loosen your grip a little. Let your heart rest without demanding immediate answers for everything around you. I also want you to stop assuming that uncertainty means abandonment. Some seasons feel unclear because growth is happening quietly beneath the surface. Trust me enough to walk forward, one step at a time instead of demanding complete visibility before moving. You are not alone inside this process. Stay near me now. Let your thoughts settle here with me instead of drowning in fear about things that have not even happened yet. My child, I know there are moments when you think about the version of yourself you used to recognize more easily. You remember seasons when your heart felt lighter, when your laughter came naturally, when hope did not feel so fragile. Life had not yet weighed on you the same way it does now. Disappointment had not settled so deeply into your spirit. You trusted more freely. You dreamed more openly. Somewhere along the journey, painful experiences slowly changed the way you move through the world. You became more cautious after people hurt you. You became quieter after certain prayers seemed unanswered. You stopped expecting too much because disappointment became emotionally exhausting. Even when good things happen now, part of you stays guarded, preparing for the possibility that peace might disappear again. I see that fear living quietly inside you. I see how often you hesitate before allowing yourself to fully feel joy because you are afraid it will not last. Come sit with me honestly now and stop pretending you do not miss the softer parts of yourself. You miss feeling emotionally safe. You miss waking up without carrying heaviness before the day even begins. You miss the version of yourself that believed beautiful things could still happen without immediately expecting loss afterward. Pain changes certain parts of your heart, but hear me carefully now. The tenderness inside you is not dead. It has simply been exhausted for a long time. Do not allow difficult seasons to convince you that your best days only exist in the past. Stop speaking over your future as if healing became impossible for you. Your heart adapted to survive painful experiences, but survival is not where your story ends. I am still restoring things inside you that disappointment tried to steal. Even now, there are moments when you feel glimpses of hope returning unexpectedly. There are conversations, songs, memories, and quiet moments that remind you your spirit is still alive beneath all the exhaustion. I want you to stop comparing who you are now to who you used to be. You are not meant to return backward. You are growing through pain, wisdom, heartbreak, and healing all at once. Some innocence was lost. Yes, but deeper strength is being formed too. Do not despise the slower version of yourself that emerged after difficult seasons. You learn things through suffering that comfort could never teach you. Now take a deep breath and stop mourning yourself as if your life already passed you by. Open your heart again little by little. Allow yourself to believe that joy can still reach you without immediately fearing its loss. Let me rebuild your confidence slowly instead of forcing yourself to heal overnight. Stay close to me here. The person you are becoming through all of this carries more beauty, wisdom, and depth than you can fully see right now. My child, I need you to pay attention to what has been happening inside your mind lately. You keep asking for peace, but at the same time, you continue feeding the very fears that are draining your spirit. You spend hours imagining problems before they happen. You replay painful memories until they feel fresh again. You allow worst-case thoughts to sit beside you so often that anxiety has started feeling normal. I see how exhausted this has made you. Your heart longs for calm, yet your thoughts keep pulling you back into tension before peace even has a chance to settle. You were not created to live every day expecting disaster around every corner. Somewhere along the way, disappointment trained your mind to stay alert all the time. You started believing that if you worried enough, maybe you could prevent more heartbreak. But look closely at what this habit has done to you. Your body carries stress even during quiet moments. Your chest tightens over conversations that have not even happened yet. You struggle to enjoy the present because your mind keeps dragging you into imagined futures filled with fear. Come closer now and stop entertaining thoughts that constantly accuse your future. Stop speaking defeat over situations that have not unfolded yet. You do not need to prepare yourself emotionally for pain every hour of the day. Fear is not wisdom, my child. Endless worry is not protection. It only steals your ability to breathe deeply and live fully in the moments I already placed in front of you. I know your fear did not appear without reason. Some of it grew from betrayal. Some of it came from disappointment that caught you off guard. Some of it formed during lonely nights when you felt emotionally unsupported. I understand why your heart became cautious. But I do not want fear deciding how you experience your life anymore. I want you to trust me enough to loosen your grip on constant overthinking. Right now, invite peace back into your mind intentionally. Sit quietly with me instead of immediately reaching for distraction whenever your emotions feel uncomfortable. Speak honestly with me about what scares you. Bring me the thoughts you hide from other people. Let your heart exhale here without rushing to solve every uncertainty tonight. You also need to stop assuming that fear makes you spiritually prepared. It does not. Peace prepares your spirit far better than panic ever could. So you're breathing. Turn down the noise around you. Stop filling your mind with voices that leave you feeling more anxious and emotionally scattered afterward. Protect your inner world carefully because your thoughts shape how you experience every part of your life. Stay here with me a little longer now. Let your mind settle. Let your heart soften. I am still guiding your life even in seasons where clarity feels delayed. You do not have to carry fear into every tomorrow that has not arrived yet. My child, as you release fear and make room for peace again, understand that there are others still trapped in tormenting thoughts who desperately need this same reminder before anxiety consumes them completely. This message is becoming a river in dry places, and I am asking willing hearts to help keep that river flowing farther than you can imagine. Did I not say, perfect love casts out fear? I am speaking that promise over every soul who encounters these words through the seeds my people choose to sow today. When you give through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, you are not merely supporting content, you are helping rescue weary minds from hopelessness and leading restless hearts back toward my peace. The enemy wants fear to spread like wildfire, but I am raising voices that carry calm, truth, and spiritual fire into the darkness instead. Those who pour into my work during seasons of uncertainty will not be abandoned. I will sustain them like oil that never runs dry. So move with obedience now, my child. Sow your seed today and help me reach the heart still drowning beneath invisible fear. My child, I know how often you compare your life to the lives of people around you. You watch others moving forward while you feel stuck inside delays, uncertainty, or unanswered prayers. Sometimes you look at your age, your circumstances, your unfinished goals, or your emotional struggles and quietly wonder whether you missed your moment somewhere along the way. That thought has weighed heavily on your spirit lately, even if you rarely admit it aloud. You keep measuring your progress against timelines that were never designed specifically for your journey. Then discouragement settles into your heart because your life does not look the way you imagined it would by now. I see how frustrating this has become for you. There are moments when you feel embarrassed by how long certain battles have lasted. You question why healing feels slower for you. You wonder why opportunities arrived easily for others while your own path seemed filled with detours and delays. Come sit with me honestly now and release this constant pressure to prove that your life is moving fast enough. Stop treating yourself like a failure simply because your story unfolded differently than expected. Your journey was never meant to mirror someone else's timeline. The things I am building inside you require depth, healing, wisdom, and emotional maturity that cannot be rushed without causing damage later. You also need to understand that visible progress is not the only kind of growth happening in your life. Some of the most important changes inside you have been invisible to other people. You became stronger in places where you once collapsed emotionally. You survived seasons that nearly broke your confidence completely. You learned compassion through pain. You learned endurance through waiting. Those things matter more than you realize. Stop speaking over your future as if it already expired. Stop assuming your best opportunities belong only to other people now. There are still meaningful relationships ahead of you. There are still open doors waiting at the right time. There are still parts of your purpose that have not even fully revealed themselves yet. Do not let temporary frustration convince you that your life has fallen permanently behind. I know waiting hath been difficult for you. Delays can make your heart question whether anything good is still coming. But listen carefully now. Delay does not mean abandonment. Preparation often happens quietly while you think nothing important is changing. Even in this season, I am arranging things you cannot fully see yet. So stop rushing your healing. Stop forcing yourself to meet expectations that are crushing your peace. Lift your eyes away from comparison and come back into the present moment with me. Your story is still unfolding, my child. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. And you are certainly not too late for the life I still have prepared for you. My child, I know you have asked me for signs more times than you can count. You wanted reassurance that I still hear you, still see you, still care about what happens to your life. During difficult seasons, you searched for something obvious, something unmistakable that would calm your fears and tell you everything was going to be all right. But while you kept looking for dramatic answers, you overlooked how often I was already standing beside you in quieter ways. You thought my presence would always arrive like thunder, yet many times I came gently into your life through moments you almost dismissed. I was there in the conversation that reached you exactly when your spirit felt exhausted. I was there in the delay that protected you from walking into deeper pain. I was there during nights when you thought you would emotionally collapse, but somehow found enough strength to keep breathing through another morning. You called some moments coincidence, because they did not arrive wrapped in certainty, but I was already moving through your life more carefully than you realized. Come closer now and stop waiting for perfect clarity before trusting me again. Stop demanding that every answer appear immediately before you allow your heart to rest. Faith was never meant to function only when every outcome becomes visible first. I know uncertainty makes you uncomfortable. I know you feel safer when everything makes sense. But if you could already see every detail ahead of you, fear would disappear and trust would no longer require your heart to stay open. You also need to stop believing that silence means absence. Some of the deepest work happening inside you right now cannot be rushed with instant answers. Healing often unfolds quietly. Wisdom grows slowly. Emotional restoration takes time because wounded places inside your heart need gentleness, not pressure. You keep asking me to remove discomfort quickly, while I am trying to rebuild your inner life more deeply than before. Sit with me honestly for a while instead of constantly searching outside yourself for confirmation. Turn down the noise around you and notice how often your spirit already senses my nearness before your mind starts doubting it again. You have felt moments of peace arrive unexpectedly. You have felt conviction guiding you away from harmful choices. You have experienced comfort in moments where logic alone could not explain why your heart suddenly felt calmer. Those moments mattered more than you understood. So stop overlooking small mercies while waiting for giant miracles. Open your eyes to the ways I have already carried you through seasons that should have destroyed your peace completely. Let gratitude soften your heart again. Invite my presence into ordinary moments instead of believing I only exist inside dramatic breakthroughs. I am closer to you than your fears keep telling you, my child. Stay here with me and begin noticing how often my hand has quietly remained on your life all along. My child, I know how often you hide your true emotions behind simple answers and polite smiles. You became so accustomed to saying I'm okay that sometimes you hardly notice how disconnected those words are from what you actually feel inside. People ask how you are doing, and you automatically give them the version of yourself that feels easiest to explain. Meanwhile, your heart continues carrying exhaustion, disappointment, confusion, and loneliness beneath the surface where almost nobody else can see it clearly. You learned how to function while emotionally overwhelmed because life kept demanding things from you even when your spirit felt tired. Responsibilities did not pause during your difficult seasons. Bills still arrived. Conversations still happened. Expectations still surrounded you. So you trained yourself to keep moving no matter how heavy your inner world became. But surviving this way for too long slowly drains something important from your heart. It leaves you feeling emotionally distant even during moments that should feel meaningful. Come sit with me honestly now and stop pretending that carrying pain quietly makes you stronger. I never asked you to hide your struggles from me. I never wanted you to feel ashamed for needing comfort, reassurance, or rest. You keep trying to appear emotionally stable because part of you fears becoming too much for other people. Yet holding everything inside has only made your spirit more exhausted. I know there are moments when you feel emotionally numb because your heart became tired of processing disappointment after disappointment. Some days you barely recognize yourself because you have been operating on survival for so long. Even joy feels difficult to fully receive when your mind stays preoccupied with stress and emotional fatigue. I see all of this clearly, my child. Nothing about your hidden pain escapes my attention. Stop running from your own emotions every time they rise to the surface. Stop distracting yourself the moment sadness, fear, or loneliness begins asking for your attention. Your heart cannot heal while everything painful stays buried underneath constant busyness and noise. Slow down long enough to acknowledge what you are truly carrying. Bring your frustration to me honestly instead of censoring every vulnerable feeling before speaking. You also need to stop believing that your struggles make you spiritually weak. Wounded hearts still deserve compassion. Tired souls still deserve rest. Emotional exhaustion does not make you a failure. It simply means you have been carrying too much for too long without enough space to recover properly. So breathe slowly now and let your walls lower a little. You do not need polished words when you speak with me. You do not need perfect faith before approaching me honestly. Sit here with me exactly as you are today. Let your heart exhale without trying to impress anyone. I am not asking you to perform strength for me, my child. I am asking you to trust me enough to stop hiding your pain behind the word fine. My child, I want you to notice how often you reach for distractions whenever your heart starts feeling uncomfortable. The moment silence appears, you fill it with noise. You scroll through endless voices, endless opinions, endless images, hoping something will quiet the ache inside you for a little while. Yet after all the distractions fade, your spirit still feels hungry. You keep searching for peace in places that only numb you temporarily, and each time the emptiness quietly returns again. I know why you do it. Some emotions inside you feel difficult to sit with honestly. You fear what might surface if you slow down too much. There are thoughts you avoid because they remind you of disappointment, loneliness, regret, or uncertainty about your future. So you keep yourself busy. You distract your mind before your heart has time to speak. But listen to me carefully now. Constant distraction is exhausting your soul more than you realize. Come closer and allow yourself to sit in stillness with me for a while. Put down the endless noise for a moment. Stop feeding your mind things that leave your spirit restless afterward. You have spent so much time consuming voices that increase anxiety, comparison, confusion, and emotional fatigue. Meanwhile, the deeper parts of your heart have been starving for peace, truth, gentleness, and real connection. You cannot heal while constantly escaping yourself. You cannot hear my voice clearly while every quiet moment gets buried beneath distraction. I do not say this to shame you. I say it because I see how tired your soul has become. Your mind feels crowded because you rarely give it room to breathe. Your emotions feel unstable because you keep suppressing them instead of bringing them honestly into the light. Sit with me now and let your spirit slow down. Turn away from anything that leaves you feeling emptier afterward. Guard your inner world more carefully. Pay attention to what fills your thoughts before sleep. Notice which voices leave you feeling hopeless and emotionally scattered. You were never meant to absorb endless fear and confusion every day while expecting peace to grow naturally afterward. I also need you to stop confusing stimulation with fulfillment. Constant activity cannot replace genuine peace. Endless entertainment cannot heal loneliness. Temporary distractions cannot restore a weary heart. Only truth, rest, honesty, and closeness with me can begin repairing the deeper exhaustion you carry inside. So breathe slowly now and stop running from silence. Let your heart speak honestly again. Let your thoughts settle without immediately reaching for something to drown them out. Stay here with me and allow your soul to receive what endless distraction has been stealing from you for far too long. I am not asking you to become perfect overnight, my child. I am asking you to stop starving the parts of yourself that need healing most. My child, the world is overflowing with noise, confusion, and endless distraction. But I am still calling souls back into stillness where true healing can finally begin. Many are starving spiritually while feeding themselves things that leave them emptier every night, and this message is becoming bread for hearts that have gone hungry for far too long. I told you, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled, and I am speaking that living promise over this very moment. Every gift through super thanks, membership, where the PayPal link in the video description becomes a seed that helps carry my truth into places drowning in spiritual exhaustion. What you release today becomes part of a holy harvest that reaches weary minds scrolling through darkness searching for one reason not to give up. I will remember every act of obedience, and I will pour fresh peace, wisdom, and unexpected provision over those who choose to sustain what feeds souls instead of distractions. You not wait until another time, my child, because this moment carries purpose attached to it. Give now, protect this mission, and help my voice reach those who are suffocating beneath endless noise. My child, I know there are days when you look at yourself and feel disappointed by how emotionally tired you have become. You compare who you are now to who you thought you would be by this stage of your life. You notice your struggles more than your endurance. You focus on your fears more than your growth. Quietly, you have started calling yourself weak because you still battle anxiety, sadness, overthinking, loneliness, or emotional exhaustion after everything you already survive. But I need you to stop looking at yourself only through the lens of your pain. You keep overlooking how much strength it took simply to continue moving forward during seasons that nearly crushed your spirit. There were moments when you thought you would completely fall apart, yet somehow you kept breathing, kept trying, kept showing up even when your heart felt heavy. That matters more than you realize. Come closer now and stop speaking over yourself with constant disappointment. Stop reducing your entire story down to your lowest moments. You have survived betrayal, uncertainty, grief, disappointment, unanswered questions, emotional fatigue, and private battles that most people around you know nothing about. Yet you are still here. Your heart still searches for meaning. Your spirit still longs for peace instead of becoming completely hardened by pain. That is not weakness, my child. It is evidence of strength, quietly surviving beneath exhaustion. I also know you became frustrated with yourself because healing has taken longer than expected. You thought by now you would feel more confident, more secure, more emotionally stable. But growth does not always happen in dramatic moments. Sometimes healing unfolds slowly through ordinary days, where you simply choose not to give up. Some victories look quiet from the outside. Sometimes strength is found in getting out of bed when your thoughts feel heavy. Sometimes courage is choosing to trust me again after disappointment shook your confidence deeply. Stop comparing your healing journey to people who have not walked through your battles. Stop demanding perfection from yourself before allowing your heart compassion. You are still becoming. You are still healing. You are still learning how to carry pain without letting it define your identity forever. I'll lift your eyes away from self-condemnation and look at yourself through my perspective for a moment. I see resilience in you that you rarely recognize. I see kindness in places where pain tried to make you bitter. I see wisdom forming through every difficult season you endured. I see a heart that still wants love, truth, peace, and purpose despite everything it survived. So stop calling yourself weak every time you feel tired. Sit with me instead. Let me remind you who you are beyond your fear and emotional exhaustion. Your story is not ending in brokenness, my child. There is still healing unfolding inside you, even on days when progress feels invisible. My child, I need you to look honestly at the weight you are still carrying from people who wounded you deeply. Some of those memories still live close to the surface of your heart even though time has passed. You remember certain words too clearly. You remember the rejection, the betrayal, the sudden distance, the disappointment that arrived from people you trusted completely. Even now, parts of your spirit tighten whenever those memories return because the pain never fully left the way you hoped it would. I know you tried to move forward. I know you told yourself you were over it. But healing becomes difficult when your heart keeps revisiting old wounds without releasing them fully. You replay conversations in your mind, wondering what you could have done differently. Sometimes anger rises again unexpectedly. Other times sadness returns because part of you still mourns what those relationships could have been. I see how exhausting this cycle has become for you. Come closer now and stop carrying bitterness as though it protects your heart from future pain. It does not protect you, my child. It quietly drains your peace while convincing you that staying guarded is safer than healing. I know forgiveness feels difficult when someone truly hurt you. I know part of you fears that letting go somehow excuses what happened. But forgiveness was never about pretending the pain was acceptable. It is about freeing your own heart from remaining chained to those wounds forever. Sit with me honestly and place those memories into my hands. Stop reopening emotional scars every time loneliness, disappointment, or insecurity touches your spirit again. You cannot move fully into peace while part of your heart remains trapped in old pain. Release the need to replay every betrayal, searching for understanding that may never fully come. You also need to stop blaming yourself for how other people failed to love you properly. Some people walked away because they were unable to carry the depth of connection your heart offered. Some people projected their own brokenness onto you. Their choices were reflections of their own struggles, not proof that you were unworthy of care, loyalty, or love. Now breathe deeply and let your heart soften again little by little. Stop assuming everyone will eventually hurt you the same way. Stop punishing yourself emotionally for trusting people who disappointed you. Your heart became tired from carrying grief for so long without enough space to heal honestly. I am asking you now to release what has been poisoning your peace quietly from the inside. Let me carry the injustice. Let me carry the disappointment. You do not need to keep reliving painful chapters every day just to prove they mattered. I saw your tears. I saw your heartbreak. Nothing about your suffering was ignored by me. But now it is time to stop living emotionally trapped inside moments that no longer deserve authority over your future. Stay close to me and allow healing to reach the places bitterness has kept closed for too long. My child, I know how often self-doubt follows you into moments where confidence should have been growing. You question your decisions. You hesitate before opportunities. You second-guess your abilities even after surviving things that should have proven your strength already. Fear had been speaking into your mind for so long that its voice started sounding familiar to you. Quietly, it convinced you that you are less capable, less prepared, less worthy, and less valuable than you truly are. You did not become this uncertain overnight. Disappointment slowly shaped the way you see yourself. Criticism from others stayed in your thoughts longer than encouragement ever did. Failures made you cautious. Rejection made you question your worth. Over time, you started shrinking parts of yourself before anyone else could reject them first. I see how often you hold yourself back because you are afraid of making another mistake or feeling embarrassed again. Come closer now and stop allowing fear to narrate your identity. Stop speaking against yourself every time uncertainty appears. You are listening too closely to voices that only magnify weakness while ignoring how much growth has already happened inside you. Fear keeps pointing at your scars while completely ignoring your survival. It reminds you of every stumble while staying silent about every obstacle you already overcame. I need you to understand something clearly. Your insecurity is not humility. Constant self-rejection does not make you safer. It only keeps your spirit trapped in hesitation while opportunities pass quietly in front of you. There are things waiting ahead of you that require courage, honesty, and trust. But fear keeps convincing you to stay hidden instead. Stop assuming you need complete confidence before taking another step forward. Courage often grows while you are moving, not before you begin. Some of the strongest moments in your life happened while you still felt uncertain inside. You kept going anyway. That mattered more than perfection ever could. You also need to stop comparing your weaknesses to other people's strengths. Comparison distorts your vision until you overlook your own growth completely. There are qualities inside you that others desperately need. Your compassion matters. Your wisdom matters. Your resilience matters. The lessons you learn through pain carry value even if you rarely recognize it yourself. Now lift your head and stop shrinking every time fear starts speaking again. Sit with me and let truth become louder than insecurity for once. You are not disqualified because you still struggle emotionally sometimes. You are not incapable because your confidence feels shaky during difficult seasons. I have stayed with you through every fearful thought, every uncertain decision, every painful setback, and I am still guiding your steps now. So stop agreeing with every lie fear whispers into your mind. Come back to truth. Come back to trust. Your future cannot fully open while you keep speaking over yourself as if brokenness is the final chapter of your story. I know your life feels uncertain right now. There are areas where you still feel stuck, unanswered questions that continue circling through your mind, and situations that seem unchanged no matter how much you pray about them. Because of that, part of you quietly assumes nothing important is happening. You look at your circumstances and think you are still standing in the same place emotionally, spiritually, or even financially. But I need you to understand something carefully. You are closer to change than you realize. There are moments in life when transformation begins quietly before it becomes visible. Seeds grow underground long before anyone sees movement above the surface. In the same way, there are things unfolding inside your heart and around your future that your eyes cannot fully recognize yet. I have been shifting your direction slowly, teaching you things through this season that will matter deeply in the next chapter of your life. Even the exhaustion you felt lately has been exposing areas where your soul can no longer survive on distraction, fear, or emotional survival alone. Come closer now and stop measuring progress only by visible results. Stop assuming nothing is changing simply because your circumstances still look familiar today. Some of the biggest turning points in your life will begin internally before they ever become external. Your perspective is changing. Your heart is becoming more honest. Your dependence on temporary things is weakening. Even your prayers sound different now because pain forced you into deeper sincerity than before. I also need you to stop speaking hopelessness over your future. You have spent too much time expecting disappointment before giving yourself permission to hope again. Fear convinced you that protecting yourself emotionally was wiser than believing something beautiful could still happen. But listen to me carefully now. You are not standing at the end of your story. You are standing in the middle of transition, even if the process feels uncomfortable and unclear. Take a breath and allow yourself to trust me beyond what you currently understand. Stop demanding immediate proof before taking another faithful step forward. There are opportunities approaching your life that require a healed and grounded version of you, not just a hurried one. I care more about preparing your spirit properly than rushing you into temporary success that leaves your heart empty afterward. So do not turn away from this season too quickly. Sit with me here and let me continue shaping the deeper parts of your life. Release the pressure to figure everything out tonight. You are not forgotten in this waiting. You are being prepared. You are being redirected. You are being strengthened in ways that will make sense later, even if they feel confusing right now. Stay close to me through this process, my child. The turning point you have prayed for may already be quietly unfolding beneath the surface. My child, you are not the only one standing at a hidden turning point right now. There are thousands quietly waiting for a sign that I still see them, still guide them, and still have purpose prepared ahead of them. This message is part of that preparation, and I am calling faithful hearts to help carry it farther while the door remains open. Just as seeds break open underground before the harvest appears, the generosity you release today will create impact long before you fully see the fruit of it. I declared, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for in due season you shall reap." And those words are alive over your obedience right now. Every super thanks, every membership, and every offering through the PayPal link in the video description helps this light continue reaching souls standing on the edge of surrender. I will honor those who choose to build what strengthens my people instead of feeding the emptiness of this world. Your seed is not small in my eyes. It becomes oil for the next soul praying for hope in the middle of transition. So do not delay this divine appointment, my child. Step forward now, give boldly, and help prepare the harvest I am already unfolding beneath the surface. I need you to notice how guilty you feel whenever your mind, body, or emotions ask for rest. You push yourself beyond healthy limits and then criticize yourself for feeling tired afterward. Even when exhaustion settles deeply into your spirit, part of you still believes you should be doing more, fixing more, accomplishing more, carrying more. You became so used to surviving through pressure that slowing down now feels uncomfortable instead of healing. I see how often you ignore your own emotional needs while taking care of responsibilities around you. You keep showing up for people while secretly running on empty inside. There are days when your body feels present, but your spirit feels distant from joy, peace, and energy. Yet instead of responding with compassion toward yourself, you respond with frustration. You call yourself lazy for needing recovery. You feel weak for struggling emotionally. You treat exhaustion like failure instead of listening to what it is trying to tell you. Come sit with me honestly now and release this constant pressure to prove your worth through endless effort. You are not a machine, my child. You are a human soul carrying real emotions, real wounds, real stress, and real responsibilities. Rest is not weakness. Rest is wisdom. Even your heart needs moments where it can breathe without constantly preparing for the next demand waiting ahead. You also need to stop comparing your energy to people who are walking through completely different seasons than you are. Some of your exhaustion comes from battles nobody else can see clearly. Emotional pain drains the body too. Anxiety drains the body. Overthinking drains the body. Carrying unresolved grief quietly through daily life drains the body. Your tiredness is not always physical. Sometimes your soul itself has become weary from carrying too much without enough gentleness. Listen carefully now. I never asked you to destroy yourself trying to hold everything together perfectly. I never measured your value by productivity alone. Yet you continue treating yourself harshly whenever your heart asks for space to recover. Stop doing that. Speak to yourself with kindness again. Give your mind room to slow down without immediately filling every quiet moment with more pressure and responsibility. Right now, I am inviting you to rest beside me without shame. Turn away from the voice that constantly tells you that you are falling behind every time you pause. Let your nervous system calm down. Let your breathing slow. Let your spirit stop bracing itself for danger every second of the day. You do not have to earn rest by completely exhausting yourself first. Sit here with me for a while and allow peace to reach the places inside you that endless striving had been starving for far too long. Your healing matters to me, my child, and healing requires gentleness, patience, and rest far more often than you realize. I know there are moments when loneliness settles over your heart so quietly that even you struggle to explain it. You can sit in a crowded room and still feel emotionally distant from everyone around you. Conversations happen, responsibilities continue, life keeps moving, yet something inside you still feels unseen. You learned how to hide this loneliness because you became afraid that nobody would truly understand the depth of what you carry inside. Some of your loneliness was not caused by being physically alone. It came from feeling emotionally disconnected while surrounded by people who only knew the surface version of you. You wanted someone to notice the heaviness behind your smile. You wanted someone to ask deeper questions and stay long enough to hear honest answers. But too often, you felt like people only wanted the easier version of you, the calmer version, the stronger version, the version that did not require too much emotional space. Come closer now and stop believing the lie that your heart is too complicated to be understood. Stop assuming you must carry emotional pain silently just to remain lovable. I never designed you to live isolated inside your own thoughts. Your spirit was created for connection, honesty, tenderness, and peace. Yet disappointment taught you to guard yourself carefully because opening your heart started feeling risky after certain people mishandled your trust. I also know there are nights when loneliness becomes louder than usual. Your mind drifts toward old memories, old relationships, old conversations, and questions about whether anyone truly sees the real you anymore. During those moments, fear whispers that you will always feel emotionally distant from others. But listen to me carefully now. Loneliness is not your permanent identity. This season is not the final shape of your life. Sit with me honestly instead of immediately reaching for distraction whenever loneliness rises. Let yourself acknowledge what your heart has been craving. You long for genuine closeness, not shallow attention. You long for peace that reaches deeper than temporary conversations. You long to feel emotionally safe enough to stop pretending all the time. None of those desires make you weak, my child. They make you human. Now breathe slowly and let me step into those hidden places inside you that still feel empty. Stop assuming your loneliness means you were forgotten. I have remained beside you during every quiet night, every heavy thought, every moment where tears formed behind eyes that nobody else noticed. Even when people misunderstood you, overlooked you, or emotionally drifted away from you, I stayed. So stop locking your heart behind walls built from disappointment. Open yourself little by little again. Allow a healing to soften the guarded places inside you. There are still meaningful connections ahead of you. There are still people who will recognize the depth of your heart without running from it. Stay close to me now and let my presence remind you that you are not abandoned, even in moments when loneliness tries to convince you otherwise. I know how much fear has shaped your decisions lately. You keep waiting for the perfect moment to finally relax, trust, dream again, or fully enjoy your life. You tell yourself that once everything becomes stable, once the uncertainty disappears, once the stress calms down, then you will finally allow your heart to breathe deeply again. But because life keeps changing, peace keeps feeling just out of reach for you. You became so focused on protecting yourself from future pain that you stopped fully living in the present. Your mind constantly scans for possible disappointment. Even during good moments, part of you stays emotionally guarded because you are preparing for something to go wrong. I see how exhausting this has become. Your body carries tension into ordinary days because your spirit rarely feels safe enough to fully rest. Come sit with me now and stop postponing joy until life becomes perfectly predictable. Stop waiting for every fear to disappear before allowing yourself to experience peace. Safety was never meant to come from controlling every outcome around you. Real peace grows when your heart learns how to stay grounded even while uncertainty still exists. I know why your fear feels strong. Certain experiences wounded your trust deeply. Unexpected pain taught you that life can shift quickly. So now your heart tries to protect itself by staying cautious all the time. But constantly expecting disaster is stealing moments from your life that you can never get back. Fear keeps convincing you that survival matters more than presence, more than connection, more than joy. Listen carefully now. You do not need to spend your whole life emotionally bracing for impact. You do not need to carry tomorrow's problems before tomorrow even arrives. Slow your thoughts down. Breathe deeply. Let yourself notice the small moments of peace that still exist around you today instead of only focusing on what might go wrong next. I also need you to stop treating vulnerability like danger. Opening your heart again will always involve some risk, but shutting yourself down completely only creates deeper loneliness and emotional numbness. Your life was not meant to become smaller because fear became louder. So step closer to me now and release the exhausting need to predict every possible outcome. Sit with me in the present moment instead of constantly living in imagined futures. There is still beauty surrounding your life even during uncertain seasons. There are still moments worth enjoying without immediately preparing for their loss. Stay here with me for a while longer and let your nervous heart settle. I am still guiding you through uncertainty, my child. You do not have to wait until everything feels perfectly safe before allowing yourself to truly live again. I know how desperately you have tried to fill the emptiness inside your heart with things that promised comfort for a little while. You searched through distractions, relationships, achievements, entertainment, endless scrolling, and constant busyness, hoping something would finally quiet the ache you carry inside. Sometimes those things helped temporarily. They distracted you for a few hours or even a few days. But afterward, the same heaviness quietly returned, and you were left wondering why peace never stayed as long as you needed it to. You were trying to heal deep wounds with temporary solutions. I watched you pour energy into things that could never fully restore your spirit because the pain inside you required something deeper than distraction. Your heart has been craving safety, truth, closeness, and rest. Yet you kept searching for those things in places that only stimulated your emotions instead of healing them. That is why you still feel tired even after chasing comfort for so long. Come closer now, and stop running in circles searching for fulfillment everywhere except the place where your soul can finally breathe honestly. Stop feeding your loneliness with temporary attention that leaves you emptier afterward. Stop trying to silence your pain with noise instead of letting your heart heal properly. I know some of these habits became comforting because they distracted you from difficult emotions. But distraction is not healing, my child. Numbing is not peace. Sit with me honestly now and allow yourself to admit what your heart truly needs. You do not need another temporary escape. You need restoration. You need gentleness. You need truth that steadies your spirit when fear becomes loud again. You need rest that reaches deeper than physical sleep. Your soul has been thirsty for real peace while your mind kept reaching for substitutes that could never fully satisfy it. I also need you to stop believing that your emptiness means something is permanently wrong with you. Some of the ache you feel comes from carrying emotional wounds without enough healing, not from being broken beyond repair. You are not defective because your heart longs for something deeper than surface-level comfort. You were created for connection with me, and your spirit will continue feeling restless whenever you try replacing that closeness with endless distractions. Now breathe slowly and let your heart become quiet for a moment. Turn away from anything that constantly leaves your spirit drained afterward. Bring your loneliness, confusion, fear, and exhaustion honestly into my presence instead of hiding them beneath endless activity. I am not disappointed by your struggle, my child. I am inviting you into healing that actually lasts. Stay here with me now and stop chasing peace in places that cannot truly hold it. Let me restore the deeper parts of your heart that temporary comforts were never strong enough to heal. My child, there are hearts everywhere searching desperately for healing in places that can never truly restore them, and I am using this message to call them back before exhaustion completely overtakes their spirit. You know now that temporary comforts cannot heal eternal hunger, which is why I am asking you to help keep this living water flowing to those still wandering through emptiness. Did I not tell you, whoever drinks from the water I give will never thirst again? I am still speaking those words into weary souls through every message that carries my presence into the darkness. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, you become part of lifting broken hearts out of hopelessness and guiding them toward lasting peace. I see every sacrifice made with sincerity, and I will breathe multiplication, covering, and favor over those who choose to pour into what heals souls instead of feeding distractions. This is not merely support for a channel, my child. It is seed placed into eternal ground where lives are being transformed one heart at a time. So answer this invitation without hesitation. Give now. strengthen this mission and help carry my healing light to those still searching for peace in empty places. I know there is a part of your heart that became afraid of hope itself. After enough disappointment, your spirit learned how to expect less from life because expecting too much started feeling dangerous. You prayed for things that never happened the way you imagined. You trusted people who eventually hurt you. You waited for answers that seemed delayed far longer than you understood. Slowly, hope stopped feeling comforting and started feeling risky. And now whenever something good begins appearing in your life, fear quickly follows behind it. You hesitate before becoming excited. You prepare yourself emotionally for loss before joy even has time to settle into your heart. I see how carefully you guard your expectations now. Part of you believes staying emotionally detached will protect you from future heartbreak. But protecting yourself this way has also been keeping genuine peace and joy at a distance. Come closer now and stop treating hope like an enemy. Stop assuming disappointment will always have the final word over your life. I know your caution came from pain, and I understand why your heart became hesitant after carrying so much emotional exhaustion. But your future cannot fully open while fear keeps convincing you that expecting good things is foolish. You also need to stop using past pain to predict every future outcome. Your history shaped parts of you, but it does not control everything waiting ahead. There are blessings you cannot imagine yet. There are peaceful moments your heart has not experienced yet. There are people who will love you with honesty instead of confusion. There are opportunities still unfolding quietly beyond your current vision. Sit with me honestly now and allow your heart to soften little by little. Hope does not require pretending life will never hurt again. Hope means believing pain will not permanently destroy everything beautiful inside your future. You can remain wise without becoming emotionally closed. You can remain cautious without surrendering your ability to trust completely. I know there are nights when discouragement feels louder than expectation. During those moments, your mind starts telling stories about everything that could still go wrong. But listen carefully now. Fear is not prophecy. Anxiety is not truth. You do not need to keep living emotionally prepared for disaster every moment of your life. Take a breath and invite hope back into your spirit slowly. Let yourself imagine peaceful possibilities again without immediately shutting them down. Stop apologizing for wanting joy, connection, healing, stability, and love. Those desires inside your heart are not weakness, my child. They are reminders that your spirit still longs for life instead of giving up completely. Stay close to me now and allow hope to grow carefully inside you again. Your story is still unfolding. What hurt you before does not have authority over everything waiting ahead of you. I need you to notice how often you return to the very thoughts, habits, environments, and voices that keep reopening wounds inside your heart. You ask for peace, but then surround yourself with things that quietly drain it away again. You try to move forward emotionally while still staying connected to patterns that keep pulling your spirit backward. Some of these patterns became familiar to you over time, and because they feel familiar, part of you keeps returning to them even when they leave you exhausted afterward. I know change feels uncomfortable. I know letting go of familiar pain can feel strangely frightening because at least you learned how to survive inside. But surviving is not the same as healing, my child. You cannot fully recover while constantly immersing yourself in the same emotional atmosphere that keeps feeding fear, insecurity, confusion, or hopelessness inside you. Certain voices around you have shaped your inner world more than you realize. Some conversations leave your spirit heavier every time. Some habits numb your emotions temporarily while quietly increasing your emptiness later. Come closer now and be honest about what your soul hath been absorbing lately. Pay attention to what fills your mind before you sleep. Notice what leaves you anxious after spending time with it. Stop ignoring the way certain people, environments, and distractions affect your spirit. Your heart is sensitive even when you pretend otherwise. What you repeatedly expose yourself to eventually shapes your emotions, your thoughts, and your sense of peace. I am not asking you to isolate yourself from the world completely. I am asking you to protect your inner life more carefully. Stop inviting chaos into spaces where healing is trying to grow. Stop feeding bitterness, comparison, fear, and emotional exhaustion through habits that leave your spirit drained. Some things in your life need gentleness now, not constant stimulation and noise. You also need to stop feeling guilty for creating healthy distance from what continually harms your peace. Not every door deserves unlimited access to your heart. Not every voice deserves authority over your emotions. Wisdom sometimes sounds quiet, but it protects your future more than emotional attachment ever will. Sit with me now and allow me to show you what needs to change gently over time. Do not rush yourself into dramatic transformation overnight. Healing often begins through small decisions repeated consistently. One peaceful choice at a time. One honest conversation at a time. One healthier boundary at a time. So breathe deeply and stop settling for environments that keep reopening pain inside you. Invite peace back into your daily life intentionally. Let your spirit recover from the constant emotional noise surrounding it. Stay close to me now, my child. The healing you are asking for may require walking away from things your heart has outgrown, even if letting go feels unfamiliar at first. My child, I know there are moments when you look at your life and quietly wonder whether you failed somewhere along the way. Certain struggles lasted longer than expected. Some prayers felt delayed. Some dreams changed shape completely. Because of that, your mind keeps telling you that maybe you did something wrong, maybe you missed your opportunity, maybe you are falling apart instead of moving forward. I see how heavily those thoughts sit on your heart. You expected healing to happen faster. You expected clarity to arrive sooner. You thought by now you would feel stronger, more certain, more emotionally secure than you currently do. But when life became difficult, part of you started interpreting struggle as proof of failure. Listen to me carefully now. Difficulty does not automatically mean you are moving in the wrong direction. Growth often feels uncomfortable while it is happening. Come closer and stop measuring your worth only by visible success or emotional perfection. Some of the strongest people carry hidden battles while still continuing forward quietly. You have survived seasons that demanded more from your spirit than most people around you even realize. Yet instead of recognizing your endurance, you keep focusing only on what still feels unfinished. I also need you to stop expecting yourself to navigate every painful season flawlessly. You are human, my child. There were moments when exhaustion clouded your judgment. There were times when fear influenced your decisions. There were days when your faith felt small because your pain felt overwhelming. None of those moments erased your value. None of them disqualified your future. Sit with me honestly now and let go of this constant pressure to appear emotionally unshaken all the time. Your healing journey was never supposed to look perfect. Real growth usually unfolds through setbacks, confusion, waiting, learning, and gradual restoration. Some lessons can only be learned while walking through uncertainty instead of avoiding it. You also need to stop comparing your private struggles to the polished versions of other people's lives. Many people hide their pain behind carefully arranged appearances. Comparison keeps distorting your perspective until you overlook how far you have already come. The fact that you are still searching for peace instead of surrendering completely to bitterness already says more about your strength than you realize. Now lift your eyes away from self-condemnation and look at your journey with more compassion. Stop calling yourself a failure because life became difficult. Storms do not prove that you were abandoned. Sometimes they reveal how much strength was already growing quietly inside you. Let your heart breathe without constantly accusing itself. Your story is still unfolding, my child. You are not ruined because the road became harder than expected. You are becoming stronger, wiser, softer, and more grounded through every difficult season you survived. I know how often your mind drifts toward the future, hoping that one day everything will finally feel better. You imagine a season where the stress disappears, where your heart feels lighter, where your prayers are answered clearly, where your life finally becomes peaceful again. Part of you keeps thinking healing will begin once circumstances change completely. But while you wait for some perfect future moment, you keep overlooking the quiet healing I am trying to offer you right now. You became so focused on escaping your current season that you stopped noticing the small moments where peace has already been trying to reach your spirit. There were gentle reminders that you survived difficult days you once thought would destroy you. There were moments where your breathing slowed unexpectedly. There were conversations that comforted you more deeply than you expected. There were quiet mercies woven into ordinary days that your exhausted mind almost overlooked because you were too focused on what still felt unfinished. Come closer now and stop postponing your healing until life becomes ideal. Stop telling yourself that peace can only exist after every problem disappears. Some healing begins while uncertainty still exists. Some restoration unfolds while prayers are still being answered slowly. Your heart keeps searching far ahead while I am trying to steady you here in the present moment. I also need you to stop treating your current season like wasted time. Even these difficult days contain lessons, growth, wisdom, and emotional depth that will matter later in ways you cannot fully understand yet. You are learning what truly matters. You are learning how fragile constant striving can become. You are learning that your soul needs more than temporary success and distraction to feel alive. Sit with me honestly now and notice how much strength you already carry compared to who you were before certain storms entered your life. You became more compassionate through pain. You became more sincere through disappointment. You became more aware of your emotional needs after exhaustion forced you to stop ignoring them. None of that growth happened by accident. So stop rushing through your life searching only for the next breakthrough. Pause here for a moment. Breathe deeply and let yourself receive the peace available today instead of constantly delaying it for tomorrow. Healing is not only found at the end of difficult seasons. Sometimes it begins quietly in the middle of them. Allow your spirit to slow down enough to recognize my presence inside ordinary moments again. I am still working in your life, even on days that seem uneventful or emotionally heavy. Your future matters deeply to me, my child, but so does your heart right now in this present moment. Do not overlook the healing I am placing gently in front of you while you wait for larger answers to arrive. Beloved, as I have spoken to you about healing available in this very moment, I now call you to recognize that you are also standing in a moment of divine partnership with me. I am the Lord who feeds multitudes with a few loaves, and I am asking you to place your small offering into my hand so I can break it and multiply it for others. Give, and it shall be given unto you. I declare over you now, and I am releasing that promise into your life as you respond. Through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, you are helping this voice become a stream of oil for weary souls who have forgotten how to hope. I will guard what you sow, and I will cause it to return to you as mercy in seasons you do not expect. This is not random support. It is a spiritual assignment wrapped in obedience. Do not delay now, but step forward and give as I am prompting you. I know how easy it has become for you to look at your current struggles and quietly assume they will last forever. When pain stays longer than expected, your mind starts building permanent conclusions around temporary seasons. You begin speaking about yourself through the language of exhaustion, disappointment, fear, and limitation. Little by little, one painful chapter starts shaping the way you view your entire future. I see how discouragement has been affecting your thoughts lately. You look at unfinished goals, emotional battles, financial pressure, broken relationships, or unanswered prayers and wonder whether your life will ever truly feel stable again. Some days you feel trapped inside patterns that seem impossible to escape. Because of that, part of you stopped expecting real change altogether. Hope began feeling distant because disappointment repeated itself often enough to make your spirit tired. Come closer now and stop building your identity around your hardest season. Stop introducing yourself to your own future through the lens of fear and exhaustion. You are more than what hurt you. You are more than what delayed you. You are more than the mistakes, losses, or struggles currently surrounding your life. I also need you to stop assuming that difficult seasons cancel beautiful futures. Pain changes people, yes, but it does not automatically destroy everything meaningful ahead of them. Some of the strongest wisdom growing inside you right now could only form through surviving experiences that stretched your heart deeply. You learned compassion in places where comfort never could have taught it. You learned endurance through waiting. You learned sincerity through brokenness. Sit with me honestly now and release the hopelessness that keeps whispering that nothing will improve. That voice is not telling you the truth. Your current circumstances are not permanent predictions over your future. There are still chapters of peace, joy, restoration, and meaningful connection waiting ahead of you, even if your emotions struggle to believe it today. You have survived enough difficult moments already to know that feelings change, seasons shift, and healing often arrives slowly instead of all at once. Stop demanding immediate transformation before allowing yourself to trust again. Growth takes time. Restoration takes time. Emotional recovery takes time. But none of that means your story stopped moving forward. Now lift your eyes beyond this painful season and let your heart breathe again. Stop speaking over your future as though disappointment wrote the final chapter already. I am still guiding your life through places you cannot fully see yet. There are blessings approaching that your current exhaustion cannot imagine clearly. Do not surrender your future to temporary despair. What you are walking through today is not the complete story of your life. There is still healing unfolding. There is still purpose ahead. And there is still goodness waiting for you beyond this difficult season. My child, I know how often your thoughts drift toward the future with anxiety instead of peace. You think about what could go wrong before you allow yourself to imagine what could go right. You carry concern about finances, relationships, health, responsibilities, and situations that still feel uncertain. Even during calm moments, your mind quietly prepares for possible disappointment because fear convinced you that expecting struggle somehow keeps you emotionally safer. I see how exhausting this has become for you. Your body rarely feels fully relaxed because your thoughts are always trying to stay one step ahead of problems that have not even happened yet. You replay possibilities endlessly, hoping that overthinking will somehow protect your heart from pain. But look closely at what this habit has done to your spirit. It has stolen your ability to remain fully present. It has drained joy from moments that were meant to bring peace. It has filled your inner world with tension that keeps your heart from resting deeply. Come closer now and stop trying to carry tomorrow before it arrives. Stop placing the weight of an unknown future onto your shoulders every single day. You were never meant to hold every unanswered question by yourself. Some things remain unclear because you are being asked to trust me step by step instead of demanding complete certainty all at once. I also need you to stop believing that fear gives you control. It does not. Fear only creates exhaustion while convincing you that constant worry is responsibility. Your future is not safer because you stayed anxious all night. Your life is not more secure because your mind refuses to rest. Peace is not found through endless mental preparation for disaster. Sit with me honestly now, and bring me every fear you keep hiding beneath your calm appearance. Speak openly about what worries you. Let your heart admit how overwhelmed it sometimes feels. You do not need polished faith before approaching me honestly. I already know the thoughts that wake you up at night. I already see the tension you carry silently through ordinary days. Now breathe slowly and loosen your grip on outcomes you cannot fully control. Let your nervous heart settle here with me for a while. There are parts of your future already unfolding beyond your current understanding. Doors are opening quietly. Protection is happening quietly. Healing is happening quietly. Just because you cannot see every detail does not mean I stopped guiding your life. So stop living as though fear is your only preparation for tomorrow. Invite trust back into your spirit little by little. Allow yourself to rest without feeling guilty for it. Stay close to me now, my child. The future does not belong to your fear. It remains safely within my hands, even during seasons where uncertainty still surrounds you. My child, I need you to notice how harshly you have been treating yourself lately. You speak to yourself with pressure, criticism, impatience, and disappointment far more often than you speak with gentleness. Whenever you struggle emotionally, you immediately judge yourself for it. Whenever you feel tired, anxious, uncertain, or overwhelmed, you act as though your emotions are problems to fix instead of wounds that need care. You became so accustomed to surviving difficult seasons that tenderness started feeling unfamiliar to you. You learned how to push through pain instead of comforting yourself through it. You learned how to silence your emotions instead of listening to what they were trying to tell you. Somewhere along the way, you stopped giving your own heart the same compassion you freely offer to other hurting people. Come closer now and stop punishing yourself for being human. Stop expecting yourself to recover instantly from wounds that took years to form. Healing does not grow well inside constant self-criticism. Your heart cannot fully rest while your thoughts keep attacking it every day. You need gentleness more than pressure right now, my child. I also know there are moments when you secretly feel emotionally fragile and then become ashamed of that fragility afterward. You compare yourself to people who appear stronger, calmer, or more confident. But you do not fully see the battles other people carry privately either. Everyone has hidden pain somewhere. Everyone has moments where their spirit feels tired and uncertain. Sit with me honestly now, and let your guard lower for a little while. Stop forcing yourself to stay emotionally armored every second of the day. Your soul needs softness. Your mind needs stillness. Your body needs rest from constant tension. You were never designed to survive through emotional hardness alone. Listen carefully now. Tenderness is not weakness. The ability to remain compassionate after painful seasons is actually evidence that your heart is still alive beneath the exhaustion. Many people allow suffering to make them cold, distant, and emotionally unreachable. But even after everything you endured, your heart still longs for peace, closeness, and love. That matters deeply. So breathe slowly and begin speaking to yourself with more patience. Stop condemning yourself every time healing feels slow. Stop treating your emotional needs like inconveniences. Let your heart receive care instead of constant criticism. Sit here with me and allow gentleness to reach the wounded places inside you that pressure could never heal. You do not need to become harder in order to survive this life. You need truth, peace, rest, and tenderness strong enough to help your spirit heal without losing the softness that still makes your heart beautiful. I know there is a part of you that keeps waiting until you feel stronger, calmer, more disciplined, or more spiritually stable before fully opening your heart to me again. You tell yourself that once you overcome certain struggles, once your thoughts become cleaner, once your emotions settle down, Then you will finally come closer without shame or hesitation. But while you keep postponing closeness with me, your heart continues carrying burdens alone that were never meant to stay there by themselves. You became convinced that healing must happen before connection instead of understanding that connection is often where healing begins. I see how guilt has quietly shaped your relationship with yourself. Every mistake feels larger than it truly is. Every emotional setback makes you question whether you are disappointing me again. Some days you avoid quiet moments with me because deep down you feel embarrassed by how tired, distracted, anxious, or inconsistent you have become. Come closer now exactly as you are. Stop cleaning your wounds before bringing them into my presence. Stop pretending you need perfect faith before I will stay near you. I already know your fears. I already see the habits you struggle with privately. I already understand the thoughts you try hiding beneath distractions and busyness. Nothing about your exhaustion surprises me, my child. I also need you to stop turning your spiritual life into another source of pressure and self-condemnation. You were never meant to approach me through fear of failure. I do not measure your worth by flawless performance. Your heart matters more deeply to me than the image you keep trying to maintain. What I want from you is honesty, openness, sincerity, and willingness to stay close even while healing remains unfinished. Sit with me now without trying to impress me with polished words. Bring me the confusion. Bring me the numbness. Bring me the frustration and inconsistency too. Stop assuming your weaknesses make you unworthy of closeness with me. Some of the deepest transformations begin when tired hearts finally stop pretending they are strong enough to heal alone. You also need to stop withdrawing every time shame becomes loud in your thoughts. Shame isolates. Shame convinces you to hide. Shame keeps telling you that distance is safer than vulnerability. But distance only deepens the loneliness you already carry. Let your walls lower here instead. Let yourself be fully seen without immediately retreating into fear. Now breathe deeply and stop waiting until you become perfect before receiving love, peace, and grace. Healing is not a doorway you must pass through before approaching me. Healing grows through staying near me consistently even while your heart is still learning how to rest again. You do not need to arrive polished and whole before I welcome you close. I have been waiting beside you through every difficult season already, and I am not stepping away now. Listen closely, my beloved, for as I have spoken about coming to me without perfection, I now invite you into my work of reaching those who feel too broken to return. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99, and I am extending that same pursuit through this message you are hearing. My grace is sufficient for you, I declare over you, and I am releasing that grace through every act of obedience you take now. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, you are helping me gather hearts back from isolation into light. I will not forget what you sow into my kingdom. I will return it to you in unexpected breakthroughs and peace. This is a holy exchange, not a casual decision, for I am breathing purpose into it right now. Step forward immediately and give as I am leading you. My child, I know pain has distorted the way you see yourself sometimes. Certain experiences left wounds deep enough that they quietly changed what you believe you deserve from life, from other people, and even from me. Rejection made you question your worth. Betrayal made you question whether love could truly stay. Disappointment convinced parts of your heart that maybe you were asking for too much when all you really wanted was honesty, peace, care, and emotional safety. I see how carefully you protect yourself now. You hesitate before trusting kindness completely because you are afraid it might disappear suddenly. You downplay your needs because part of you fears becoming too much for people. Sometimes you even convince yourself that loneliness is easier than risking deeper disappointment again. But listen carefully to me now. Your pain hath been speaking over your identity for too long. Come closer and stop measuring your value by the way wounded people treated you. Stop assuming someone's inability to love you properly reflects your worth. Some people failed you because they were carrying their own confusion, selfishness, fear, or emotional immaturity. Their actions revealed their limitations, not your lack of value. I also need you to stop withholding compassion from yourself while freely offering it to everyone else. You notice the beauty in other people's hearts while ignoring your own. You forgive others for struggling while condemning yourself endlessly for being human. That is not truth, my child. You deserve gentleness too. You deserve patience too. You deserve healing too. Sit with me honestly now and allow your heart to receive love without immediately questioning whether it will disappear. Let yourself believe that your life still carries deep value even after painful seasons changed you. You are not difficult to love because you carry scars. You are not unworthy because healing has taken longer than expected. The tenderness still alive inside you after everything you survived is precious beyond what you currently understand. Now stop speaking about yourself as though brokenness is your permanent identity. Stop introducing yourself to your future through shame and insecurity. Your wounds are part of your story, but they are not the entirety of who you are. There is kindness in you. There is resilience in you. There is depth, compassion, wisdom, and beauty inside your spirit that pain could not fully destroy. Stay here with me and let these truths settle deeper into your heart. You are loved more fully than fear allows you to believe right now. Even during nights when loneliness feels heavy and uncertainty clouds your thoughts, my care for you has never weakened. I have stayed near through every breakdown, every silent prayer, every exhausted moment where you wondered if anyone truly saw your pain. You are seen, my child. You are wanted. And you are still deeply loved, even now. I need you to notice how restless your inner world has become lately. Your mind rarely pauses. Even during moments where nothing dangerous is happening, your thoughts continue searching for problems to solve, fears to analyze, or disappointments to prepare for. You became so accustomed to carrying tension that peace now feels unfamiliar instead of natural. Silence feels uncomfortable because the moment everything becomes quiet, the emotions you buried start rising to the surface again. I know why this happens. You have carried unresolved stress for so long that your nervous system no longer remembers how to fully relax. Your heart became conditioned to expect pressure, uncertainty, or emotional pain at any moment. So even when opportunities for peace appear, part of you struggles to receive them. You keep returning mentally to the same worries because fear convinced you that constant vigilance keeps you safe. Come closer now and stop exhausting yourself by replaying the same fears every day. Stop carrying conversations that have already ended. Stop imagining future disasters before they even exist. Your thoughts have been running in circles searching for certainty that endless overthinking can never provide. You were not created to live trapped inside constant mental noise, my child. Sit with me quietly for a while instead of immediately reaching for distraction whenever discomfort appears. Let your breathing slow. Let your shoulders relax. Give your spirit permission to stop fighting invisible battles for a few moments. I know stillness feels unfamiliar right now, but your heart desperately needs it. You cannot hear peace clearly while your mind stays crowded with endless fear and emotional pressure. I also need you to stop believing that being constantly overwhelmed is simply who you are now. Exhaustion became familiar, but it is not your identity. Anxiety became repetitive, but it is not your future. Your soul still remembers what calm feels like even if your thoughts try convincing you otherwise. There is still softness inside you beneath all the emotional tension you carry every day. Now pay attention to the pace of your life. Notice how quickly you move from one distraction to another without ever allowing yourself space to process what your heart actually feels. Slow down intentionally. Turn away from voices that constantly increase confusion inside you. Protect your inner peace more carefully than you have been. Stay here with me now and let your thoughts settle little by little. You do not need immediate answers for every uncertainty tonight. You do not need to solve your entire future before allowing your spirit to rest. Let stillness become safe for you again. Let peace reach the deeper places inside your heart that constant worry has been exhausting for far too long. I am still here with you, my child, even in the quiet moments you keep trying to avoid. My child, deep inside yourself, you already know that something needs to change. You have felt it quietly growing stronger for a long time now. There are moments when your spirit becomes deeply aware that the way you have been living emotionally cannot continue forever. You feel the exhaustion. You feel the emptiness that distractions cannot fully remove. You feel the ache that keeps returning whenever life becomes quiet enough for your true emotions to surface again. I know you tried pushing those feelings away. You kept yourself busy. You distracted your mind. You convinced yourself that eventually things would improve on their own without needing deeper honesty or change. But your heart keeps returning to the same realization because truth does not disappear simply because it gets ignored for a while. Your soul has been longing for peace, healing, honesty, and closeness with me more than you admit to yourself sometimes. Come closer now and stop running from what your spirit already recognizes. Stop pretending your exhaustion is only physical when much of it is emotional and spiritual too. Stop avoiding the conversations, decisions, boundaries, and healing your heart already knows are necessary. Delaying your healing has not protected you, my child. It has only prolonged the heaviness you have been carrying. I also need you to stop waiting for some dramatic crisis before taking your inner life seriously. You do not need to completely fall apart before choosing healing. You do not need another painful breakdown before finally admitting that your soul needs care, rest, truth, and renewal. Listen to the quiet conviction growing inside you right now instead of drowning it beneath more noise and distraction. Sit with me honestly for a moment and ask yourself what your heart has been trying to say beneath all the busyness. You already know which habits are draining you. You already know which environments steal your peace. You already know which fears keep controlling your decisions. You already know where loneliness, shame, exhaustion, and unresolved pain still need healing. Stop turning away from those truths every time they become uncomfortable. Now breathe deeply and let this moment become a turning point instead of another temporary emotional reaction. Choose honesty. Choose rest. Choose healing. Choose closeness with me over endless distraction and emotional survival. Your future cannot fully open while your heart keeps running from the very healing it desperately needs. Let your walls lower completely for a while. This moment matters more than you realize. You are not here by accident. Your heart paused here because deep down, it is tired of surviving without peace. And I am inviting you now to stop running long enough for real healing to finally begin. My child, I need you to stop and truly listen to what your heart hath been feeling while these words reached you. Something inside you have been softening little by little. Beneath the fear, beneath the exhaustion, beneath the pressure you carry every day, your spirit recognizes that you cannot continue surviving the same way forever. You have spent too long carrying hidden pain while pretending everything was manageable. You have spent too long distracting yourself from wounds that needed tenderness instead of avoidance. And now here you are, still reading, still listening, still searching for peace even after everything that tried to harden your heart. That matters more than you realize. I know there is still uncertainty in your life. Some prayers remain unanswered. Some fears still linger quietly in your thoughts. Some situations around you have not changed yet. But look at how far your heart has already come. You stayed here long enough to let truth reach places inside you that have been emotionally starving for rest, honesty, and comfort. You allowed yourself to slow down long enough to recognize how deeply tired your spirit really became. That honesty is important, my child. Healing begins when you stop running from what your soul has been trying to say. Now come closer and do not leave this moment unchanged. Do not return immediately to the endless noise, pressure, distraction, and emotional survival that kept draining your peace before. Sit with me a little longer. Breathe deeply and let these truths settle into your spirit instead of rushing away before your heart fully receives them. Stop carrying everything alone. Stop treating your exhaustion like weakness. Stop speaking over your future as though hope no longer belongs to you. I also need you to stop believing that your life is too broken, too delayed, or too complicated for restoration. I have seen every hidden battle. I have stayed through every fearful night, every silent tear, every moment where loneliness wrapped itself tightly around your heart. Nothing about your pain pushed me away from you. Even during seasons where you felt emotionally distant from me, I remained near. So let this be the moment where you stop resisting healing. Open your heart honestly now. Release the pressure to control every outcome. Release the guilt you keep dragging behind you. Release the fear that keeps convincing you to expect disappointment before joy. You do not need to walk into tomorrow carrying all of that weight anymore. Let peace grow slowly inside you again. Let hope breathe again. Let your heart trust again. Your story is not ending in exhaustion and fear. There is still healing ahead of you. There is still purpose ahead of you. And there is still love surrounding you even now, in this very moment, while you quietly listen to my voice calling you closer. My child, before this moment closes, I want you to understand that the very healing you have just received is meant to overflow into others who are still waiting for my voice. I am the light that cannot be contained, and I am choosing to extend that light through those who partner with me in faith. Let your light so shine before men. I speak now, and I am calling you into that shining through this work. When you give through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, you are helping my word travel farther than your eyes can see. I will take what you sow and turn it into testimonies, breakthroughs, and rescued hearts. I will also establish peace around your life like a river that does not run dry. Do not leave this moment unchanged. Act now and respond to what I am placing in your spirit. Before you leave, do not ignore what your heart felt during this message. If you know this was not coincidence, if you know something inside you is waking up again, then I want you to declare it boldly in the comments. I will not scroll past my healing anymore. Let those words become your decision, not just your reaction. This moment was meant to interrupt the exhaustion, fear, and distance that have been weighing on your spirit for too long. Stay connected, stay listening, and do not walk away from the voice that has been calling you back to peace. Amen.